Good morning and welcome to this special 7 News presentation. Shortly we'll cross to Canberra, where a memorial will be dedicated in honour of Australia's 287,000 national servicemen. Hundreds of former Nashos marched up Anzac Parade to the Australian War Memorial earlier this morning. Thousands of Nashos and their families are now taking their seats ahead of the Governor-General's arrival. But first, a look at this morning's news headlines. 18 days after Australians cast their votes, Prime Minister Julia Gillard is finally getting down to the business of running the country. Ms Gillard was off to work early this morning, but she was keeping quiet about how she celebrated becoming Australia's first elected female Prime Minister.
Just off to work, thanks.
A few drinks, a few celebratory drinks.
Lots of work to be done, thank you.
Last night, she came face to face with the man she beat into the nation's top job by just 2 votes after independents Rob Oakeshott and Tony Windsor handed her the 76 seats needed to form a Labor minority government.
I think they were.
I am going to be held to higher standards of accountability than any Prime Minister in the modern age. I'm well aware of that.
Ms Gillard is now working on her new ministry, but cracks are already showing in Labor's relationship with the independents, with Wayne Swan accused of backing out of a deal to put the mining tax on the agenda at a comprehensive tax summit. Tony Abbott is expected to be returned unopposed as opposition leader when the Liberal Party meets tomorrow, with Julie Bishop staying deputy. He's vowed to hold the Labor government ferociously to account, but has promised not to deliberately cause problems. 500 homes south of the Victorian town of Shepparton are isolated by floods and could remain so for several days. Shepparton was spared after the river peaked early today and water levels are steady.
With the preparations taken place, over 15,000 sandbags have been given out to the residents that have filled, and so we have about 150 properties that have been sandbagged.
Further west at Horsham, anxious residents are waiting for the Wimmera River to peak. The flood threat has eased around Wangaratta, but crews are monitoring levees protecting 60 homes. In sports news, Todd Carney has completed one of Rugby League's great comebacks, taking out the Dally M medal in Sydney. Carney attended the awards with his mum, Leanne, one of the few people who stood by the 5/8 after he was sacked by Canberra and spent a year as an NRL outcast.
It was a small thank you to her, obviously what I'd put her through in the last couple of years, and it's something she'll never forget.
Carney's Roosters mentor, Brian Smith, took out the Coach of the Year award. But the players were well and truly upstaged on the red carpet by their glamorous wives and girlfriends. Now that's the latest from the newsroom. We'll have a full news bulletin for you in an hour. But now we'll cross to 7 News reporter Chris Reason in Canberra for today's memorial dedication. Over to you, Chris.
And good morning and thank you. I want to start by taking you back 40 years to a time when every 20-year-old young Australian man in this country was anxiously waiting the results of a national lottery. Not a lottery to determine whether they won $1 million or not.